Hi, welcome. It's Iona Drozda here at Wren House Studio, and we are in week 5 of Emerge and See in our current series of It's About Time to Create Progress Without Pressure. I'm so glad that you are here. It's a wonderful and exciting time when we get to this point in the new natural year. We're still very, very close to the beginning of things, and so we're getting a sense of, in this first quadrant, connecting to the me that has been experiencing experience up until now, up until the present. So there's a present me. There's a present me, and when I'm connected to the me that has been throughout time, there's a sense of feeling protected. So last time we talked about stability and stabilizing ourselves and feeling grounded and rooted and anchored deep into the Earth Mother as we simultaneously embark on its busiest, most active segment of the year, spring and summer both being the time when we're just like out of the gate and making things, allowing things, inviting things, invoking things to happen. And we want things to happen around our vision, our dream, our idea, our inspiration, our project, our program, our relationship, our challenge. We have a specific focus. And as we move through the first quadrant of the year with a specific focus, it's quite stunning the way that the archetypal, alchemical, shamanic me becomes more apparent to us, even if we only invest and engage for 15 minutes a day. And maybe we don't even find 15 minutes every day. You know, there's something about exercising that muscle of the archetypal, alchemical, shamanic me that brings us up into alignment with our creative brilliance. And that's what we would like to have happen by the time we get to the end of the 12 weeks of the spring quadrant. The spring quadrant stretching from the equinox point over to the solstice point. So we're looking at the idea of recognizing our experience and how our experience has informed us. So I'd like to talk a little bit today about something that we've brought in recently, and that is The Signs of Life by Angeles Ariane. And what we find when we do our universal shapes test, if you haven't done it yet, I hope you will do it soon. Go back to video 4, take a look at, listen to, and just do that list, that vertical list of the 5 shapes from the one that's most attractive to you and your eye down to the one that's left over. And so then you get those 5. And this week we want to really pay attention to the core issue of our time. Each of us has our own core issue. Some of us may have a similar core issue to another, and yet we have our own vision, dream, project, idea, inspiration, program, relationship. Our life circumstances, in other words, are not going to be the same as anybody else's. And so where we focus on the signs of life this week is on our third shape, the position, number 3, the shape that is in position number 3. If you have not ordered the book, Signs of Life, I highly recommend it. You never have to do anything I suggest, but if you have this book in hand, it's a wonderful read. It's a lovely, lovely exploration of cultural anthropology through the eyes of Angeles Ariane and what she discovered. And you will notice also that in our Friday email, the past Friday for week 4, there is a bonus. There are a couple bonuses as you scroll down in the email. There's a couple bonuses, and the first one this week is the I think it's like 20 minutes long, a video interview or talk, I guess, by Angeles Ariane discussing the signs of life. And she says at the beginning, there's a disclaimer, take the test before you listen to her talk. So what we want to look at today in It's About Time to Create Progress Without Pressure, Emergency, is our core issue. And our core issue is whatever we placed into the third position on the test. We want to get to know what that core issue represents. I'll go first. Okay, so when I take the Universal Shapes test, my core issue, this goes all the way back to 1991, but I've never taken it again. I've just recognized that I've got work to do, and I can actually continue to improve and engage and expand my awareness of my core issue, which was the equidistant cross, was my third shape, my third position shape was the equidistant cross. And with that, I was a little miffed when I got it in 1991. I thought, what the heck? This is about relating. This is about different views coming together and meeting in the middle. This is about middle ground. This is about being able to communicate, basically. And so I really took it on, and I invite you this week, as part of our prompts, to really connect with whatever you placed into the center of your Universal Shapes test. If you haven't gotten the book, this will get you inspired to get the book. But if you don't choose to, you can simply email me, or you can message me, and you can say, this is what I put into position number 3. Can you give me a few pointers? And I'd be very happy to do that. So that's prompt number 1 this week, is to just consider the fact that everybody's got a core issue. Nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to try and fix. It's something that is part and parcel of being a human being. We have issues. We all have issues. And so we want to understand that symbolically, and that's so much a part of the creative process, isn't it? To look at the symbolism, to look at the metaphor, to look at what does that mean behind what we think it means. So the wisdom cycle really gives us an opportunity to connect with these kinds of concepts and get cozied up with these sorts of qualities. So here in our 5th session of Emerge and See, we're looking at what is my core issue. If you choose not to take the Universal Shapes test, no problem. Just sit with yourself and ask yourself. Ask all the me's that you have ever been throughout time. What is our core issue at this point in time? What does it touch in on? Where does it stop me from moving forward? How might I address this core issue? And when we think core issue within the context of our work, we really do want to think about the core of who we are being. Remember, everything that happens in the spring and summer quadrants of the new natural year emanate out of who we learned to be in the last quadrant of the feminine, the winter quadrant. So we learn to be. I am being my doing rather than doing my being. I am being me. I'm being the best me. I'm choosing to be me. It's all this wonderful way in which we're coding our concepts of how we engage the relationship with ourself so that we can really work from home and so that we're not distracted. So our second prompt for today, for our 5th session, is to get out our 5x7 cards. Let me grab mine. And we know that last time we were working with I use experience, and that was our 4th week's focus point. I use experience. And we're in the center of our circle, and we're with the ancestors, and we're with the elements, and we're beginning to find our own relationship with these aspects of the full me, the total me. We're not feeling splintered off so much anymore. We're beginning to naturally gravitate to home, and we're beginning to naturally connect with the ancestors and the elements. And each of us will be doing that in our own individual way. So I don't like to say this is what you should be doing or this is how you should be doing it. Listen to your intuitive guidance. That's a big, big part of the wisdom cycle, is beginning to tune in more and more to the wisdom cycle. So now, this week, what we're going to do is work with, let me get this turned so I don't tear it. We're going to step into even a deeper sense of wisdom. And on our 5x7 card and in our playbook for this week, we're going to address I am me. I am me. I'm not anybody else. I don't want to be anybody else. Comparisons are deadly. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to stretch myself in this direction and in that direction and not feel like I am enough or that I do enough or that I have enough. I am me. I am me. And I am me because I have a relationship with the ancestors and with the elemental forces. These are the aspects of all living beings, even rocks, water, air. Everything contains the elements and the ancestral energies to a lesser or a greater degree. And so when we're looking at ourselves in the center of our circle and we're realizing that we work from home, we want to go a little bit deeper into what that actually represents. So when we make a statement, and I invite you to say this to yourself as often as you choose to, as often as it occurs to you, to remind yourself, to look yourself in the eye, in the mirror and say, I am me. I am me. I work from home and I am me. And I have this dream, this vision, this idea, this inspiration, this calling, this invocation, this project, this program, this relationship, this challenge, whatever it is, remember that we really want to get in gear with what it is, because by the time we get to the close of this 12-week journey from spring equinox to summer solstice, we can't even imagine it right now. We're going to have so much more stability, so much more of a core awareness, so much more connection to truly recognizing the truth of our identity. I am me. I am nobody else but me. So when we have this awareness and when we create our index card, it gives us an opportunity to consider that as me, I have a commitment. And so our third prompt for this week, I'd like to suggest, and you never have to do them the way they come from me. You might listen and say, gosh, that reminds me, or I think I could do it this way. Or you might find that when you sit down with your playbook over the next week, that your inner teachers and guides, your archetypal connections and your alchemical shape-shifting and your shamanic holistic view, they all might redesign what I'm going to offer you next. Here we go. So for prompt number 3 in week 5, I strongly suggest that you allow yourself to take the time during your 15 minutes sitting with all the me's that you've ever been throughout time in this noble and best form that you can possibly imagine right now, that you have a backbone, that you've got this idea, that you're taking the time to create progress without pressure, to grace your pace. And as you're sitting and you're reviewing where you are at right now, ask yourself this really odd but important question. What's in it for me? Usually when we hear a question like, what's in it for me, there's a lot of egoic arrogance around it. Like, what's in it for me? I'm not doing that. What's in it for me? But what we want to do is take the natural, circadian, feminine approach to being with our whole self. I am me. I work from home. I have this noble vision, dream, you know the drill there. And I want to know what's in it for me to have this vision, to have this dream, to have this goal. Nobody can tell us what's in it for me, but if we listen, we're going to gain tremendous insights and awareness, and we put them into our workbook. We scribe them so that we have them, so that we can reconnect to them as we move through the year. So this is our wisdom cycle, and we are in our 5th session of Emerge and See. And we're looking at I am me, and then what's in it for me? And we are reminding ourselves that each and every one of us has a core issue, something that has been with us. Maybe it's been under the radar. Maybe it's been right in our face. Maybe other people tell us about it and we don't want to hear it. And we go, la, 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 I can't hear you. But if we listen this week and we ask, what is my core issue? And how can I elevate it and bring it into my heart? and let it meet the ancestors and the elements. This is the earth element that we're working with now. It's about stability. We have those roots. We have that strong root from the base of the spine, and we have our feet rooted into the earth, and we're thinking about being part of the earth. We are of the earth. I am me. I am of the earth. I work from home. I have that spark, that ignition, that fire that started back in the clarity cycle, and I'm carrying the clarity that I have currently into the wisdom cycle to see what I can glean as I move through this portion of the new, natural, feminine circadian year. This is Donna Iona Drozda, Wren House Studio. This is Emerge NC. I look forward to seeing you on our call tomorrow evening, either live on the call, or if you can come in and pick up the recording, that's wonderful also. I look forward to also seeing you on our Facebook thread. If that's something that appeals to you and you enjoy it, please come and share. Bring your voice. Let yourself be connected to the work in the way that feels most natural to you. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I send you lots and lots of love.